I have my titles labeled for the animals. I go back to my data set to look at the amount of each animal. I notice that my number is no greater than 11, so I will count by ones up the column. Notice how I'm numbering directly next to the line for organization. Again, I start by reflecting on my data set to begin graphing. Birds have 6. So I use my symbol from my legend. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Noting that it stops at 6. There are 6 birds. Excellent. I keep on going. 5 fish. 1, 4, and 5. Visually, I start to recognize and check myself. 1 less than 6 is 5. It's looking good. 11 mammals, all the way to the top. Keeping my symbols consistent, I go to the end. Reptiles, there are 3. 1, 2, 3. At the end, your data set should be organized and neatly written as such. This will help you answer comparison questions both visually and with equations. So let's look at A. How many more animals are mammals than fish? I can look at my bar graph. It is a Pictographs, scholars, thank you. Okay. Right, so mammals, there are 11, and there are 5 fish. I'm looking at more, and in this case, my more than is wanting to know the difference, subtraction. Thank you for remembering. 6 more, I visually look, yeah, it's about 6. And I put my answer on the line. Going next to B, how many more animals are mammals and fish than birds and reptiles? Now I look at this and I think, two-parter. I have multiple action words. This and wants me to combine. This than wants me to compare. So I look at mammals and fish. Mammals, 11. Fish, 5. Mammals and fish combined equals 16. That's one part of my answer. Now I'm comparing this to birds and reptiles. Birds, there are 6. Reptiles, there are 3. Now that I have my 2 combined totals, I can find that difference. I create more room for myself to be clear. And I think then I'm comparing the difference. That's going to tell me to subtract. 16 minus 9 equals 7. I make sure to put that on the line. How many fewer animals are reptiles than mammals? Again, this is a comparison question where this fewer and than are telling me to subtract. I have 11 mammals and I have 3 reptiles. So if I want to know that difference, hint, hint, I subtract and find the difference between the 2. Now, the last section asks you to write a comparison question of your own. As you are inquiring into the world around you, you might think of how this data can be used to look at your observations. So for example, I noticed that fish and reptiles both require some kind of aquarium. I might want to know how many animals need water versus those that don't, that live in an aquatic environment. So I might ask, how many fish, we don't need a capital, and reptiles are there combined? Question mark. Again, I do a quick equation, 5 fish plus 3 reptiles. I know I'll need 8 aquariums.